What is the domain of a function in algebra? Imagine you have a magic box where you put in numbers and get other numbers out. The question is, what numbers can you put in without causing problems? That's what the domain of a function is all about. It's the set of all input values that you can safely use in a function. For example, if you have a simple function like 2 times a number plus 1, written as 2x plus 1, you can put in any real number. No matter what number you choose, the function will give you a valid answer. So, the domain here is all real numbers. But if your function is 1 divided by x, written as 1 over x, then you cannot use 0 as an input. Dividing by 0 is not allowed in math because it doesn't give a real answer. So in this case, the domain is all real numbers except 0. When we look at linear relationships, like straight-line functions, understanding the domain helps us know where the line exists on the graph. For most linear functions, the domain is all real numbers because the line goes on forever in both directions. If you graph a linear function like y equals mx plus b, where m and b are numbers, you can imagine the line stretching endlessly left and right. That means the domain is all real numbers. Knowing the domain also helps when you're trying to find the range, which is the set of all possible outputs. If you're modeling something real, like how much money you make based on hours worked, you want to make sure your inputs are within the domain so your results make sense. In graphing linear functions, the domain is usually easy to identify. Since these functions are defined everywhere unless told otherwise, their graphs extend infinitely along the x-axis. If there are restrictions, like a function only working 4 positive numbers, then the domain is limited to those values. Overall, figuring out the domain is a key step in understanding how a function works. It tells you what inputs are okay to use and helps you interpret the graph correctly. Whether you're working with simple lines or more complex functions, knowing the domain keeps your math on the right track.